Oklahoma's Future Freaks weekend was this past weekend in Norman. What's the latest there?
Well, obviously, similar to Clemson at the top of the show, Brent Venables, that same DNA running his program at Oklahoma. Future Freaks weekend was a big weekend for them to have many of their top targets on campus in 2026, but they also worked to get ahead with some offered guys in 2027, 2028. Numerous articles on 3 and Sooner Scoop to go check out. But the big name on campus, in my opinion, was quarterback Bo Bentley out of Salina, Texas. He's a state champion. He's the number 5 signal caller in the country. He's number 47 overall in the on 300 player rankings. He's number 1 on Coach Arbuckle's board, the new offensive coordinator in Norman. He gets to Oklahoma. Bo Bentley's the first quarterback that he extends a scholarship to. And this was Bo Bentley's second time on campus. Got a chance to talk to him about it today. Said he's continuing to build his relationship with Coach Venables, Coach Arbuckle, and Coach Coos. He said he had fun being around John Mateer. The practice was high energy and fast like he's used to. He really enjoyed the recruiting event and talked more about the culture of the program from the players. So, look, families, Oklahoma fans, Oklahoma is a program that I think is in pole position for Bo Bentley right now. He's got some big visits coming up: LSU, Ohio State, Florida State, Georgia Tech. Georgia recently offered him. He's got a lot of programs he's sifting through. Texas Tech is in the mix for Bo Bentley as well. But Oklahoma, he's now taken 2 visits there this calendar year. We know he'll take an official visit if it goes that long. Maybe his only official visit will be to Oklahoma. We'll see what happens on these other visits, but I think Oklahoma continues to set the tone for Bo Bentley, Coach Arbuckle's most coveted passer in this class.
And he's been on the job for all of about, 15 minutes now, but their new general manager and Jim Nagy coming over from the Senior Bowl, and now he's in Norman kind of overseeing the roster construction there. Anything different you're noticing as to how Oklahoma's approaching the trail since he's gotten the job, or just maybe a vibe in a sense that maybe recruits are mentioning with him now overseeing, again, the roster construction in Norman?
Well, I don't know if we will feel his hands on this recruiting class and the philosophy of it for at least a month or so. But I do know that Jim Nagy being on campus, just working a dream job, his love for Oklahoma, the people skills he has, his personality. He's just another voice on campus to speak on behalf of Oklahoma about why a young man and why their families would want to play for Coach Venables for this storied program. So just someone that really wants to be a Sooner in the building with his resume with the Senior Bowl and some of the great players he's been around. Obviously having him on staff is exciting for Oklahoma, and we'll see what he's able to do for that program moving forward. But this was a visit weekend that was already evolving before Coach Nagy got to Oklahoma.
Steve, what else is on the board for Oklahoma? What else are you watching from this past weekend?
Well, the top-ranked prospect on campus was the On3 Industries number 2 cornerback, 5-star Jordan Edmonds from Sprayberry in Georgia. Obviously, Coach Venables has some talented DBs that he's coached over the course of his career that he could point to. Chad Simmons had a good update with Jordan Edmonds. Alabama has been the program that's been trending for him as of late, but he wanted to get out to Oklahoma, arrived on Friday, stayed into Sunday. It was a good visit. A lot of offensive linemen on campus that were talented. 2, I want to highlight Gene Riordan from Hinsdale Central, the number 1 ranked player in the state of Illinois. He's been to Oklahoma a couple times. They're at or near the top of his list. He really enjoyed watching the offensive line get after it in spring practice. And certainly Coach Bill Biedenbaugh and his assistant offensive line coaches, the way they push those players at the point of attack, he views it as second to none. Drew Evers was a big riser in the latest On 300 player rankings. He's a 4-star from Flower Mound. He is one of the more nimble-footed, quick offensive linemen in the country. Oklahoma loves him. He is super high on the Sooners, said it was one of the smoothest and well-scripted practices that he's ever been to. He knows that Coach Biedenbaugh can develop him into achieving his goal of one day being a top 10 pick, providing he does what he's supposed to do on his part. So Oklahoma doing well with those 2 offensive linemen. Jonathan Hatton Jr., he's the number 6 running back in the country. He's been trending towards Texas A&M since decommitting from Oklahoma, but the Sooners got him back on campus, stayed overnight. He really enjoyed watching practice, the way the guys were flying around. So the energy was good. Talked to a source today that thought that Oklahoma is making things interesting again in that recruitment. Brian Harris is a touted defensive lineman from Mandarin High in Jacksonville, Florida. He talked about the culture of accountability, relentless effort, excellence on and off the field. That's exactly what I'm looking for to reach my full potential. Sees all of that at Oklahoma. They're in a great position for him. Pupu Katoa is an offensive lineman from Taylor, Texas, Riverside High. He's been to Oklahoma a few times. The Sooners are the slight leader on the on-3 RPM, and it was another good visit for him, I'm told.